Hey everybody, it's Randy J. Hey, funny thing, got all these tank cars, painted them up black. It's gonna make sugar, liquid sugar and molasses tank cars out of them. And I bought the decal set afterwards and realized that the tank cars are white and blue, some gray, etc., etc. So guess what? Every one of these cars have got to be repainted. So what I've got is a bucket of isopropyl alcohol, and up there on the TV there you can see in that bucket with a red top on it. Um, I've got one of them started to soak. Get the paint off. It'll take a few days to get it off. Then I can repaint them. I've got blue and white paint, so I'm going to paint them all blue and white, or maybe all of them white with some blue on them. But that's the story of my black tank cars that were supposed to be decaled for liquid sugar. And I basically goofed. So I just thought you'd like to know. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to go out in the garage and I want to explain some things. Little education on what I did when I worked for Spreckles Sugar and the operation of my sugar plant out there on my layout. So stay with me. We'll be right back. Start here at the sugar beet end. Nothing here is down yet, but this spur here is going to curve off here and go straight back a few car lengths to dump sugar beets into the flumes. When I first started at the Spreckles plant, I worked at the flume end, the beet end. I didn't work in the flumes, but I did work on the conveyor belt that put the beets up into the plant. And of course, the beets were chopped up, sugar and sucrose were extracted, and then the material was sent over to a pulp dryer, and the pulp dryer would dry the beet pulp, and it would be converted into cattle feed. And I also worked the beet dryer. Every once in a while, the beets pulp would catch fire. We'd have to drive international harvester dump trucks, fill them up with burning beet pulp and run them over onto a concrete platform and dump them out and let them put themselves out, and do that for several hours until we got all the fire out in the beet dryer. It's kind of funny. That's what I did on the sugar end, or I mean on the beet end. It was kind of fun. Now we're gonna head on over to the sugar end, which is a little bit more fun here. Be right back. Now, as far as operations go on the layout here, the cars are going to come in and they're going to be cleaned and loaded in this area here. When I worked at Spreckles, I was handed a switch list every morning by my supervisor. And we would go out into the yard and we'd look for our car. We'd spend hours out there looking for our covered hopper car that we needed to bring in to clean. We cleaned it on a area, the parking lot, forklifts underneath to get the sugar and swept it onto these trays and then send it out to be reprocessed. But on this layout, it's going to be all done here because I don't have a yard to go out and look for the cars that we need to load, which that'd be really fun if I could have modeled that much of the sugar mill. Just the sugar mill alone would be one hell of a nice uh, switching operation for people that really like to switch and stuff, because there was a lot to do. And I didn't have anything to do with the molasses tanks or anything like that. I know we had some out there at the plant, but I'm modeling them just to model them, and that's what those tank cars that I discussed earlier are for. And of course, those are going to come onto this track here. I got tanks coming for here. This is going to extend all the way to there. And just regular tank car loading, nothing special. So I have 3 different things to do here at the Spreckles plant, which is going to be most of the switching on my layout. But it's kind of some fun facts of what I used to do when I worked for Spreckles. I also was electrician's helper, painter's helper, worked sanitation, driving a forklift around and dumping trash. That was fun too. I quit all that to become a photographer. Moved to LA, did a photography business. Gave up the sugar mill. Ended up going to work at the plastics plant when I got back from the adventures in LA. And then I got married. That's the story of this layout. Why things are here on the layout. The plastics plant is just loads in, empties out. When I worked there, sometimes we would have to load some bad pellets that we got from Dow. Normally we'd get the bad ones from Dow. We load them from Dow and then get them out. SP would come in, pick them up, bring us a full load of pellets. We load the pellets in our silos and then make plastic bags out of them. So, but I worked, I had to get the plastics cars, get the covered hoppers ready for movement when the SP would come in, and we'd have to unground them, because if you didn't ground them and you touched the side of the car, you'd get one hell of a static electric shock. So you always made sure they were grounded. Anyway, that's a fun fact of being on that end of railroading. Thought you guys might get a kick out of it. And I also help restore a steam locomotive. We're going to get into that some other time. Oh, in the meantime, you guys all have a great day. I've got some video coming to you. I visited the club layout on Saturday, and got that coming for you to look at, that little footage, and then you can enjoy your Sunday. It's football day, so enjoy your games, root for your team, and as always, I'll see you on the flip side. And we're going to leave with Pixie.